What up, y'all? I am on time today. Definitely on time. I am working on some stuff in the background. Hold on, just give me a minute. I made this real quick to put up if I have to like walk away from the computer or anything. This I think it's cute. I think it's doable for the time being. Me and Micah are making it a priority to learn OBS someday. So that's what we're gonna do. But if you're here, welcome to my channel, my backup channel. I do have Nightbot working. Should be. Let me make sure that my Nightbot is working. Come on, Nightbot. Where are you at? Hopefully so, because all I did was integrate it from my other channel and I connected it to this one. Hey, Lauren. So my Nightbot should be working unless Nightbot's just always on his own schedule. How are you today, Lauren? Good to see you. Let me change the title just a little bit. Because I have like the codependency and the boundaries, and I do want to talk about that, but we can talk about whatever topics you want, whatever you guys want. Because I know a lot of us deal with being codependent or know someone who is codependent. And then we also struggle with boundaries, putting boundaries up, keeping them in place, what it may look like to set boundaries, those sorts of things. Good, busy, hope you're well today. I am. I actually had a pretty decent day. I've been busy too, and I finally got some downtime. So I hope you are having a good day today too, Lauren. I know you're always super busy. So I'm guessing Nightbot is not working. Okay, it says, sorry y'all, integrations. It should be working. I don't understand why it's not. Channels you manage. Whoa, wait. No, not that one. Oh God. Okay, I just switched it to something completely different. I'll be listening, but no problem, Lauren. Thank you for being here for real. And I'm just waiting a little bit for a few more people to come in, and then I will start the topic. Hey, MC Nemesis on X. I don't think I've seen you here before, but welcome in. How are you? Sorry if y'all hear my keyboard in the background. You know how it is. And I'm trying to figure out this Nightbot stuff. Very confusing. Let's see. Okay, so MC Nemesis, how are you? Kim K, welcome in. Lazy, I'm having a pretty good day today. How are you today, Lazy? I hope that you all are having a good day. Same, doing decent. Last week was kind of and this week is a lot better. This week is almost over. Isn't that crazy? Like, it doesn't even seem like today's already Thursday. We're already almost done with the first week of the new year. And I'm still sitting here saying, oh, next year, like we're not already in 2024. So it is what it is. Glad to hear, Lazy. Seems like we're all having a decent day. I'm sorry that my Nightbot is not working. It's really frustrating me. Because I have like everyone's channels set up to where I can just drop them It's so much easier. But it's not working right now. So I don't know what's wrong with it. It's probably still connected to my main account. Knowing me. Hold on one second. Okay, well, I'm gonna play this song because it is a copyright-free song, and I heard it earlier, and it just I don't know, the lyrics kind of resonated with me, but I promise I'm okay. But the lyrics, especially for last week, these lyrics really resonated with me. So I'm gonna play the song while I am grabbing links to drop since my Nightbot is not cooperating. So. And I haven't listened to this group in a while, but I heard this song came on, like it was on one of my playlists, and it came on, and I was like, holy crap. So I'll let you guys hear. Make sure all my volumes are up. Okay. Y'all let me know if it's too loud or if the audio is okay once I press play. Oh my god, so it's just been silent that whole time? Like oh, that's why. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. It, you guys have to bear with me. I'm usually on my MacBook laptop, right? And I have a gaming PC that my son is no longer using right now because he wants a better one. So I'm learning his PC. And yeah, I forget sometimes. My bad. Okay, this is the song. Y'all let me know if the audio is good.
There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop. I need some variety, I'm sick of this anxiety. I'm sick of this society, they make us feel a rivalry. Compare ourselves to others, but we all got different mothers. We were raised in different structures, so we're different, it's no wonder, yeah. I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the wayside. Yeah, lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. I'm so lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. You better watch out now, I figured something out, what this whole life's about, yeah. It's not the goal, it's the journey, wasted emotion is worry, I'll stop being in a hurry, yeah. I'll just enjoy what I'm doing, keep pushing forward and moving, appreciate the improvement, yeah. I was so stuck on a goal, was losing sight of my soul. Need to enjoy getting old and be so present. I don't know if there's a heaven, but I know I wanna get in. And sometimes I feel a presence, energy in a direction, so I follow intuition. It took me to a musician, now I'm on a different mission, to help others with afflictions. Now I'm not lost inside, I finally have seemed to find who I am in this life, and I found a way to feel alive. I'm not
Creating your first video? You should start with the music. Go to artlist.io.
Good song, right? I freaking love that song. And it was perfect. The words were perfect. It was just, I was like, yeah, I'm going to play that one. It's copyright free. Why not? But yeah, y'all don't forget to hit the like, please. And if y'all want, y'all can share it out. Like I said, I have not promoted this channel a whole lot, but I am going to be using it a lot more. So agree, lazy, agree. I love it. And yeah, Kim K, Nightbot is just whatever. It's so dumb because it literally shows me like my chatters or from the gaming stream that I tried to do last night that wouldn't work. It showed the one chatter that was there, so I know it's connected. And Nightbot is in my settings as a moderator. It's just stupid. Can't figure it out, but whatever. Okay. So, if you are a creator in here and you have a channel, let me know, and I will grab your link right now and drop it for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the topic. Hey, Hornet, what's up? Oh, you're a tech guy. My Nightbot is not working for my channel, Hornet. Like I went to my Nightbot and I logged in, or I set it up with this channel, and it shows it where all of my commands are still there. And I don't know. It's just, unless Nightbot is not working, it ain't working. Kim K, no, you didn't actually, because you know how the words on stream acts up a lot. It wouldn't even freaking work last night. Like I had everything set up way ahead of time. Everything was ready to go, and it just would not work. I was so aggravated and frustrated. I was just like, whatever. And then I was waiting for like if anyone else would have come in, we could have like found a game to play online, or if people had Cards Against Humanity, we could play that. But nothing happened. No one came in. And then I got high and I was like, fuck it. Sorry for my language. But yeah, so you didn't miss anything. I'm going to try to do the words game here on this computer eventually. It's a much bigger screen and stuff too than my MacBook. Is like, hop into the Discord later and we'll try and help you out. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, because like it's weird. It even shows like, so my main channel, like when I go to my top chatters, I have a bunch, right? Because that's the channel I used to go live on all the time. And I had one person come in yesterday at the beginning of my stream. And so when I connected this second channel just now to Nightbot, it showed that my chatter was that one person. So I know it's connected to the right account. It's just not taking any of the commands. Yeah, it is what it is. It's technology. I'm sure it'll work in the future. I'll figure it out. I just don't have time right now. I mean, I do, but I don't. But okay, so before I start anything, does everyone that is here, I mean, there's only 5 of us, and I appreciate you all being here. But in case people's watching on replay, does everyone here know what it means to be codependent? Because a lot of people don't. And I didn't until I went to counseling and actually learned a lot about myself there. So there's nothing wrong with, counseling, therapy, whatever works for you. But that's where I found out what codependency really was. Yes, Lauren says yes. Right? And I didn't learn about it until I was in my 30s. I act like that was so long ago, but yeah, not even 10 years ago I learned about that and how it presented itself in my life. So let's see. So it is a it's a mental health issue. It stems from our childhood, basically. Let's see. Okay, let's see. This is what I'm looking at right now. Where did it go? Oh, okay. Okay, let me get rid of Nightbot. Goodbye. Go away. Okay, so what is codependency? It's natural to want the best for a loved one and to offer them support in their time of need. However, when taken to an extreme, the desire to care for another person can actually become harmful for both you and the other individual. Codependency, also known as relationship addiction, takes place. Wow, I had never read it said like that. And keep in mind, this can be when you're codependent or someone who is, it's with friendships, it's with relationships. It's an addiction. And the way they put it here makes a whole lot of sense. But this takes place when one person believes that it is their job to save another person by attending to all of their needs. A codependent person builds their identity around this purpose and takes on a self-sacrificial role in the relationship. So just this paragraph right here, that should tell you a lot. I mean, if you find yourself being a fixer, being someone who is drawn to others, sorry, it's right here. Sorry, y'all. There has to be a StreamYard setting that I'm not doing where it doesn't present automatically. I'm having to add it to the studio. But let's see. Hold on. Let me change it to this one so we can read it. I think people don't catch themselves being codependent without realizing it until they're in too deep into codependency. It can be really unhealthy for you. Right. I didn't notice it until I had to talk it out. And I'm sorry that the screen is so, it's not zoomed in. Like I said, I am on a, I don't know how to, who knows the control what to zoom in on a page that won't heavily zoom in. Because I can't do it here. But, okay, so what I want to say is some people are drawn to seeing people hurting, going through something, being really low, having no one to talk to, those kinds of things. And so you befriend them, you become friends with them, you become someone who checks in with these people every day. And there is nothing wrong with doing that, but doing it at a healthy level. You can maintain friendships in your life. You can maintain online friendships in your life. But when you build your identity around the purpose and take on a self-sacrificial role in the relationship to save that person, you're only harming yourself. You cannot give and give and give from an empty jar. And I had to learn that. It's not something that is easy to learn, but I had to learn that. Yes, it does happen in all types of relationships. You're absolutely correct. And there is many types. See, that's something interesting to look into. The many types of codependency. Hey, Leopard Print. Good to see you. And I'd start this one. I think the majority of men and women have a hard time with setting and maintaining boundaries. Yes, we're going to get to that too. But yes, for sure. Wait, what do you mean you felt called out? Oh, because of the definition? That's the thing. Some people don't realize. Oh, okay. So let me just finish reading a little bit about what it is. So it's often used to describe a person who enables their partner's addiction. And keep in mind, it doesn't have to be your partner. It can be your friend. It's many relationships. By covering up the addict's problems or shielding them from consequences. However, it can take on many different forms depending on the relationship. For example, if you're codependent, you might take on excessive household responsibilities. That's something I'm currently dealing with. You fail to stand up for yourself, or you end other friendships just to maintain your partner's approval. And remember, these words you can replace with, like, what if it's you end other friendships because you have another friend who is being a certain type of way and wants you to only have that one friendship. This unhealthy dynamic isn't limited to romantic relationships. You can also have a codependent relationship with a family member or a friend. Hey, Leopard. Oh, the codependent definition. Facts. I know. Until it got to the part about affecting or controlling your life in a negative way. And I was like, you good. Yeah, exactly. That's the important thing, is when it starts to, when you start to become empty, when you feel like you have nothing left to give and you're trying your best and nothing is working, yet this person is wanting and expecting you to show up and be present and for you to be there and for you to give and give and give, it is not healthy. And I have done this many times throughout my life and before I even realized what it was, I've done that. And I then realized, by the time I'm already down, by the time I'm already feeling like I don't want to get out of bed, I don't, like when you're already down, you're like, what did I do wrong? What can I do to fix it? So that was 2 years. Oof. Yeah, I had a 5-year relationship a long time ago with my son's dad. But I don't know. I guess I was codependent on him. I really don't know. But 2 years, 5 years, it's all so very long to deal with it. I've definitely been in codependent relationships. Yeah, I think as long as I don't seek them out, or if I don't automatically feel like it's my job to make them feel better, it's my job to check in with them, it's my job to, hey, I can relate to you, let's talk. It's so strange because you can do that, but you have to have the boundaries. And that's why I wanted to do these together, because we will go over boundaries. Let's see. So, and I don't want to bore y'all by reading all of this stuff, but some of this stuff is worded really well. I like this helpguide.org. So the relationship has the potential to become one-sided or destructive. You might feel frustrated, resentful, or stressed out as you neglect your own needs and prioritize your your friends, your codependent friends. That's what I'm going to start putting right there. You might even find yourself tolerating physical, sexual, or emotional abuse. And when a relationship fails or goes through a rough patch, you may experience a loss of self-worth because your identity is so tied to your friend or partner. Okay, so let's see. It says, fortunately, codependent tendencies can be reined in and replaced with healthier patterns of behavior. By changing your thoughts and habits, you can enjoy your more fulfilling relationships. So changing your thoughts is definitely something I need to look into. Let's see. You can even just have a codependency to where you don't want to do things with the other person or feel afraid to. Like just go to dinner. Oh, yes. I get that. I get that, Lauren. Without without the other person, or you feel afraid to. And I know a lot of people like that. See, I'm not codependent in that way. But like you said, there are many different types. It's interesting. So I see what you're saying, because you're codependent on that person. You're afraid. I can do those things alone. I mean, I don't like to go to dinner or a movie alone regardless. I think it feels awkward. But my codependency is exactly what this is explaining. Like everything to a T. Let's see. I'm not gonna look up the signs again if we already did that. But I'll just read the highlighted parts. So, like, you enable a friend or partner's poor choices and behavior. You'll notice controlling behavior, guilt when not attending to their needs and wants. Well, boy, that's a big one. Unwillingness to state the needs, desires, and moral stances due to fear of conflict. That is a very big one, because a lot of people notice when they're being codependent. They notice whenever they need to, like, take a step back and they need to change things up, but they're afraid to. They're afraid of fighting with that person. They're afraid of how that person's going to react. What is the outcome going to be if I bring this up to this person? That is a very real thought. And when I talked to my therapist about this, one of the things he said was, he was like, when you are in these situations, what is it that keeps you from breaking it off or putting up boundaries or whatever? And my answer was, because I worry about what they're doing, what they're thinking. And he stopped me and he was like, are you in control of any of that? And I was like, no. And he's like, can you control it? And I was like, no. So then you don't need to worry about it. It's normal to worry, but don't worry yourself sick over it, is what he kind of told me. So I had to learn that the hard way. It's almost like there are levels and categories. I might have to do a deep dive into it, Lauren, because this is just kind of like touching the surface. Fear of conflict is a huge issue. Yes, I hate confrontation. I hate anything that might hurt someone's feelings, even though it's better for me. Like, those are all things that I deal with that I have to freaking face. You take undue blame. That's something huge. I've done that more times than I can count. You take on too much responsibility and preoccupation with the other person's thoughts or feelings. And that's what my therapist was talking about. You're always worried about their thoughts or their feelings. You might obsess over whether your partner is upset, and if so, how to fix their problems. Your mood might reflect your perception of their mood, since you disregard your own emotions. So this is I really wish I could zoom in. I don't know how to zoom in. Zoom. Just kidding, I do. Let's see. Is this a little better? Seems like it'd be a little bit better. Let me go check. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I feel like when we start worrying about how our actions affect others' feelings more than our own, Yep. And that's what I tend to do. And that's what I got to get out of the habit of. Because you have to remember, like, and this is me I'm giving myself a pep talk here. You have to remember that most of the time you're dealing with other adults. You're dealing with people who also have their own share of problems. Maybe they don't address them. Maybe they don't know they have them. I think it's important that when you do put up a boundary, for instance, versus like cutting them off, if you're going to put up a boundary, explain why you're putting up the boundary, and maybe give them like suggestions so that they can get help themselves for their own issues that they're going through. Oh, Leopard, you need to get your laptop, but I know you're always on the go. I get it. Oh, I wanted to read this because this is codependent versus interdependent. So I'm guessing this is just like opposite. This is what we should aim for. So the codependent person has no hobbies and only does what their partner does or a friend. So this isn't true for all, because I definitely have hobbies, but I can see this being a thing. The interdependent is each person maintains separate hobbies while also having shared interests together. So yeah, this is the healthier. The codependent partner always does the household chores and takes the blame if they're not completed. Both partners look for ways to contribute to the household. So this is just like examples. The codependent person keeps their partner's gambling addiction a secret and pays off their debts. Or each partner encourages the other to address problems such as addiction without enabling the behavior. So, okay, this is family dynamics. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this says. So it says you can support instead of control. Geez, and that one, and see, the way they're explaining it is like a codependent person tends to be controlling, and it's like that's an eye-opener to me, because definitely a codependent person is not meaning to be controlling. I guess they just end up being that way. And so, yeah, definitely need to get that reined in. Let's see. So in healthy relationships, two people support each other. This might involve listening when a friend is feeling down or taking up additional household responsibilities when a significant other or friend is sick. However, problems can appear when you aim to direct or manage rather than support. For example, you might try to make decisions for a friend or clean up after your partner, even when they can handle the responsibility themselves. During your interactions, make a habit of asking yourself, am I trying to support or manage? Even if you think you know what's best for the other person, recognize that you can't control others. There we go. In many cases, letting a friend or partner do things for themselves will give them space to grow and help build a healthier relationship between you. Okay, let's look at the focus on yourself part, because that's something I tend to forget to do a lot. Are you guys still here? Or has the chat just stopped? I'm sorry, y'all. I just thought this was important. So some codependent people feel guilty when they want to take some me time. I like me time all the time. Just saying. Maybe you think you're being selfish for visiting your friends or taking a rest day instead of attending to your partner. If this is the case, it can help to rethink your understanding of selfishness. In moderation, it can actually be healthy. With that in mind, plan to reserve time and energy for your wants and needs. So, for instance, take time to relax, especially after accomplishing a difficult task. Engage in things you want to do, even if it's a solo activity, such as reading a book. Practice saying no to requests that could leave you feeling overwhelmed. This is a big one for a lot of people. Saying no, learning to say no and being okay with saying no. Does anybody in chat ever find themselves having that same issue? Like not wanting to say no, or you have in the past and you've moved on and you're able to say no now? Because if so, please share in chat. I mean, okay, I will say this, in my real life friendships, especially one in particular, I had a lot of issues with. I had it wasn't even codependency with this friendship. It was mostly like the narcissist manipulation thing, and I would always give in, or I was always taking on way too much, and I had to learn how to eventually say no. And it wasn't easy, and the person had a problem with it at first when I set up boundaries, but they eventually got over it, and they understood that this is for me. This is not for you. It's for me. And that's what this is saying. It's okay to have me time. It's okay to relax. It's okay to say no, because those things are for you. Oh, y'all are listening. Okay, thank you. Selfish has a bad rep. Right. It does. But I like reading things like this because it tells you that, like, you can do it in moderation. You can do it in certain ways where it's not. Either way, people are going to have something to say, right? Either way, people are going to have something to say about you, about your life, about how you live your life. And that's okay. Let them do. Let them talk. Let them say what they got to say. Really, Lauren? Yeah, it was a hard relationship, but everything's better now because the boundaries are there. You definitely got to have a me day. You got to have a moment to yourself to get your mind right, right? Like, I'm mostly active at night. Daytime it's not my best time unless, like today I made it a point to do what I needed to do. If it wouldn't have been for my aunt across the street, who recently lost her husband, we went through a loss with my uncle, but I just got a text saying, hey, can you go check on our aunt? And yeah, I was up. No hesitation, and I went check on her, and we actually got to sit and have a long talk. But yeah, you definitely need me time to get your mind right. I've gotten much better at saying no, but sometimes I still feel a little guilty, right? How do you get rid of that guilty feeling? I mean, I think it's just human nature where we automatically feel guilty. I don't know. I'm not sure. Lauren, I wanted to drop the link. I don't know if anybody will join, but I like to just put it in chat just in case. But I remember Easy was having trouble yesterday pinning like his own comments, and I can't pin my own comments. So I don't know how you pin your own comments now. Let me see. Wait, maybe it'll let me. It wasn't working earlier. Let me see. Okay, it's letting me now. Wait, did I? Oh, look, I pinned Lazy's comments. My bad. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's working now. I got it. Okay, I'm saying it's okay to be selfish. Oh, right. Yeah. Because you were saying it gets a bad rep. And it does. Honestly, it really does. But it is important to put ourselves first. Period. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what we all should do for ourselves. It's not selfish if it's not to an extreme. It's self-caring. Yep. Oh, so it is a YouTube glitch with the pin thing? Yeah, because it wasn't working at first, but now it is. I think I got it levered. But yeah, I could have did that too. Duh. I can comment and you can pin. Yeah, I think I got it to work. Is it showing the pinned comment? It is working. Okay. Let me see what it can say. Yeah, that it's not selfish, it's self-caring, right? Exactly. Lauren, I do the same thing at y'all's channel. I'll go to look at somebody's page, like somebody that's there, and it just says like report or block, and I'm like, oh, wait. Because we get so used to being mods at certain channels, and then we go on other channels and we're like, oh yeah, no. But I only have a few mods here. This channel is like so brand new. Okay, let's see. I don't know. All right, let's see with we're gonna share this tab instead. I'm gonna go over this, and if anybody is interested in the rest of the article that I went over, it's very long. They had a lot of categories. That's the link for that article. But it could feel like selfishness, or you get accused of being selfish, right? And feeling selfishness, it does a lot, because I will say that I had a very, very hard week last week, and there was like 3 days, at least 2 or 3 days, where I just like I didn't have anything left in me. I didn't. I got up and I did like the bare minimum for my family. But like other than that, I had nothing. I laid in bed and just like I had nothing. I had to recuperate. And then I knew New Year's Eve was coming up, and we always have a get together. And so I was trying to mentally prepare for that. So let's just say I'm glad the holidays are over. I'm glad that last week is over. It's a brand new week, a brand new day. It's definitely self-care and self-love. If we don't love ourselves, then how can we love someone else? I have heard that before, that saying. Me and Blind, some of you know Blind, some don't, but me and Blind actually had a live on his old channel. So the video's gone now, unfortunately, but we actually had a really good live on that. And like, I struggle to understand how to love yourself, because I was taught to, and not just like taught like by my parent, like, so my parents, my grandparents, everyone else is like, you help others as much as you can, right? They never once said help others before yourself, but it was always ingrained and instilled in us to help others as much as you can. So if it's someone needing a ride, if it's someone needing food, if it's someone needs a babysitter, if it's someone needs a place to stay, that, like, me and my husband have always been that person. And you know, we're gonna eventually have to learn how to say no and have the time that we need to ourselves. But yeah, I do see what you're saying. You have to love yourself, and loving yourself does mean taking care of yourself. So yeah, it's very important that we do those things. We have our moments in life. Nobody is perfect. That is for sure. I'm one of those people that like, I've tried different like medicines and everything for like depression, because I do feel like sometimes I do have I don't know if it was seasonal depression. I'm kind of gauging it now to see how I feel every day before I go to my doctor. But I was on a good depression medicine at one time, and then I was just like, no, I'm good without it. And I got off of it because I don't like to be on so many different medicines. But I will say that if you have a lot of down days, if you're feeling like you're not yourself and all those things, definitely there's nothing wrong with being on medicines that we need for our mental health. And this is me preaching to myself as well. And you cannot pour from an empty cup, right, Leopard? And that's what I was trying to do. Like, I literally was, but when I felt like I didn't have anything, like it was so draining. Like, Leopard, you know, it was draining me. And I really feel like, yeah, I just wasn't taking care of myself. Point blank. I definitely was not taking care of myself. Same, Lazy. And Lazy, okay. I think we asked this in Stone's channel before, but I just want to be sure, because sometimes I miss it. Are you male or female? I want to say female. Like, what do you want to be identified? Like, what do you want to be? Are you male or female? And I only ask because I like to know exactly who my audience is. And even though we've talked forever on Stone's channel, I don't remember all the time. I'm always so busy. you can lose yourself completely. Lauren, girl. Completely lose sight. And I have not only done it just once, I've done it multiple times. So it's like, no, this year I'm choosing me. And it, like Lazy was saying, or Leopard was saying, it gets a bad rep because it's like, I feel bad saying that, but then again, I'm like, no, I've done it enough. I've done it enough to where I put me last. It doesn't mean that you're choosing yourself over your family, your kids, your loved ones. It doesn't mean that. It just means that we're taking the time for ourselves also. That while we're helping to take care of our loved ones, that we are also taking care of ourselves. We're all learning. Yep, for sure. Every day. The journey back can be really difficult. Well, looks like it's going to be a difficult year for me, Lauren, because that's what I am learning. I have always been the type where, if I see someone saying something in chat that they're down about or they're upset about, or a creator or whatever it may be, and it's something I can relate to, I'm like, I can reach out, I can talk to this person, I can help them get through this journey. And then it ends up being a freaking crazy situation. And not, when I say crazy, I mean it for myself, my brain, because a lot of the people I meet have probably all been really amazing people and just needed the support. They don't need the managing, they don't need the controlling, they don't need the constant blah blah blah, because then it turns into a crazy situation. So it's okay to support your friends, it's okay to support your loved ones, your family, your fiance, your partners, whoever they may be, but just remember not to give and give and give and not take care of yourself. You're a male. Okay, that is what I thought from the beginning, but I didn't want to say it. But okay, thank you. I thought you were. And I like the your little image there. Looks pretty cool. Yes, bitch. Right. No one would even recognize me 3 years ago. Oh, that's okay. And that's okay, Lauren. We all grow. That's the one thing that is constant, is change. And we're all growing. We're all changing. We're all learning. Life is not easy. And it's not getting any easier, y'all. Life is literally, in my mind, getting harder and more difficult to cope with because the world around us is changing constantly. And not for the better, in my opinion. Now, there's a lot of things that where we can turn our eyes and our hearts away from all that negativity and just turn it towards our loved ones, turn it towards making each day the best day possible. Oh God, what was it that Bond told me? And when I talk about Bond, y'all, he's literally, he's like a big little brother, because he's younger than me, but he's like a big brother to me. He's had a lot of life experiences, and I've learned a lot from him. But he told me something the other day, when you wake up, for instance, for me, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is pick up my phone. And I do pick up my phone because I want to make sure, one, that my husband hasn't called or whatever, that I missed his call. And then I go straight to YouTube and social media. If we can wake up and be like, what's going to make me happy today? What do I need to accomplish today? And put aside anything that's dragging us down. Or if it is something that's stressing you out, if it is something that you know that you need to confront, come to terms with, put up some boundaries with, sit down and try to have a plan, talk to someone about it, how you can go about it, Let's see. If you are giving, make sure you receive it also, or stop giving. That's my stance now. I get that, Lauren. I do, because, like you said, you can't give from a leopard was saying that you can't give from an empty cup. And I have to remember that, because that was so true for me last week. I mean, when all I could do was cry because I didn't know what to do, that was a bad spot to be in. And I refuse to be in that anymore. But I do like to pay it forward. And I don't expect anything in return, but I see what you're saying. Like, at least in life in general, make sure that you're getting it back. You know, that you're getting love back, you're getting respect back, you're getting time for yourself, you're getting it back in other ways that are beneficial to you. Keep on stepping, Lauren. No matter how hard life can get, dig deep within you and keep pushing forward. Never give up. That's huge, Lazy. That's beautiful. And it's so true. Oh, thank you, Lazy. Not many people want to talk. No, they don't. And you know, when I find myself having issues with something, the best thing for me to do is talk about it. And I'm glad that I have all of you here talking about it with me. I appreciate it. It's been 2 years since my divorce, and I'm in a stronger, such a stronger. That's awesome, Lauren. I am happy for you. I really am, because you're amazing. Like, I freaking love you. And Lazy, I don't know if you know Lauren, because we all kind of just been intermingling with the communities and such, but we met Lauren over at Easy's and Resto's channel. So that's other channels I wanted to drop. But yeah, so Lauren, yeah, you are amazing. And I get it. Yeah, life is a give and receive. So pay it forward, do what you can for others, but make sure you're taking care of yourself at the same time. And also make sure that you are getting something back from it. It is very rewarding to help others. You will be blessed. But don't give and give and give, especially to someone that, what is it, like the emotional vampires out there. Like, they are real. They will drain you of everything. And like Lauren said earlier, you will completely lose who you are. I have done that way too many times in life that I'm just like, no, this year it's me. Like, I no. Okay, so now that I learned how to zoom, I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So this one, codependence and boundaries, and why do they struggle? This was March 11th, 2023. If you have been taught to disregard your own needs and instead focus on meeting the needs of others ever since your childhood, wow. I hadn't even read this site, and I literally just said this sentence. Because that is what my family has taught me. Like, always help others when you can. And that's been since childhood. There is a good chance that you have developed at least some codependent traits. As a codependent, you may struggle to recognize your own self-worth without receiving constant affection and love from other people in your life. This desperate need for reassurance and love often leads the codependent to sacrifice their own identity and have poor boundaries in their relationships. Luckily, codependency recovery coaching may be of great help in this regard, teaching you how to set healthy boundaries and love yourself without needing others for reassurance. I wanted to say, okay, so there is many different ways, different facets, how do you say that word, of codependency, because like right here, they're describing it as putting others' needs first and yours last and pouring from an empty cup, so to speak, and needing the constant affection and love. Okay, maybe that is a type of codependency. I don't struggle from that kind of codependency. Mine is more just like attaching myself to people who I feel like I can fix. People who I feel like I need to talk to this person daily. I need to make sure they're okay. That's the kind of codependency I have. And what I learned from therapy was you also can become codependent when you have fear of abandonment along with it, which is a whole nother thing, because I also have fear of abandonment from childhood. And so that's where my codependency comes from. But let's just see what triggers codependency in this article. See, this one's like goes into like the narcissism and all that. And I've done those before. Let's see, internal. So everybody has their inner critic that tells them that they are not good enough or don't measure up to the high standards that they've established for themselves. This inner critic comes from learned dysfunctional beliefs we have about ourselves, often triggering shame if these beliefs are not maintained. I have really low self-esteem. I am my biggest critic. I plan to be on camera one day when I have a decent external camera for this system, because that is something I really want to do, is to be able to have people see me, my reactions. It's easier to connect to people, and that's a huge thing for me, really huge. So I'm working on that, but my self-esteem is huge for me. I have a low self-esteem. Avoid the vampires, right? Yes, they exist. They're real. They're emotional ones. Jeez, maybe we can have a whole nother live, just a panel, like talking about what these emotional vampires do. Not even like a topic where I'm showing articles, just talk. I mean, that is actually what I am. My goal is to be able to just have open panel nights where if someone has a topic, hey, can we talk about it? Let's do it. And if not, let's talk about whatever. Like, that's what I'm aiming for. I don't know that other channel you just mentioned. And no, I don't know Lauren, but she sounds like a cool person. I'm only familiar. Oh, okay. So do you know Resto, Lazy? I'm pretty sure you know Resto. Let me go ahead and get some of these links. If you know Resto, because Resto did come into our channel one night and we weren't sure who he was. We didn't know what was going on. But Resto was there to save the day, basically. He's amazing. And he came in with a couple of people from their community. So I'll drop Resto's channel. Lauren, are you on your channel? Because I can drop yours as well. Okay, and Leopard dropped Easy's channel, and then I dropped Resto's. So that is where we've been hanging out, like when Stoned is not live, or like just in between. And just for me, for myself, I'm going to go ahead and put that out there, because I am choosing to have a me year. I love all the channels I hang out in. I love all of the channels that I am honored to mod for. I really am. My main community that I found a safe space in, coming from another horrible community, was Stone's channel. I absolutely love Stone's channel. I do miss playing the games and all that stuff, which is why I want to do that more here. But that's like my channel, you know. Now, I will binge watch Easy's replays and Resto's when he does lives. So if Resto's listening, he knows what I mean. I'm fussing at him. But I'm just not going to make it to where I convince myself that I have to be at every single live. I have to be on panel. I have to do this. I have to do that when it comes to YouTube. I'm trying to get away from that, because that's what I was doing to myself. And that's part of giving, but not doing anything for myself. So it's no offense to anyone or any channel or anything. It's just for me, doing it for me. But I mean, most of the time you will catch me in Stones, in Restos, in Easy's. Like, that's just where I've been hanging out. So yeah. Reading that first sentence of what triggers codependency, like, wow. Oh yeah, okay, let me get to it. Let me catch up. You don't stream. Okay. See, I can't watch it many times, Resto. I mean, Lauren. Because it's like they were all funny. It was hilarious. Excuse me. It's hilarious watching each time where they tried. I just can't watch it again, like over and over. But I used to watch. Oh my God, I have the hiccups. I'm so sorry. I used to watch a player. His name is Daz, D-A-Z, Daz Games. And he does like these escape room puzzle type games, which is kind of like what Resto was doing with the bomb. So like in the games I was watching, that would just be a small part of the puzzle, right? He has to defuse this bomb and it might open a door, or it might, whatever. And then he gets to another room and there's another puzzle. That's what I'm used to watching. But it is so fun to watch. And the way they laugh and everything, yeah. Lauren, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people like that, girl. Okay. So, are you talking about, the internal? Okay. Yeah, so this is, okay, what did I read and what did I didn't? I read the first paragraph. Okay, yeah, the inner critic. So, as a codependent, you can get triggered when you feel like you're being too selfish, which may push you towards offering help even when it might harm you. Another common codependent trigger is being told that you are overly sensitive or dramatic because your parents or caregivers convinced you of that when you were little. Oh my goodness. How many of you have been called overly sensitive or dramatic? Isn't that that's a trigger? Yeah, it says that. You can get triggered when you feel like you're being too selfish or they're common codependent. Yep, it's definitely a trigger. Because when someone tells me that I'm being overly sensitive or dramatic, they don't want to hear my explanation. They don't. I will go off. He was hyped in that one, Leopard. It was funny. Yeah. But yeah, don't, especially if it's something where I am choosing me. Do not call me sensitive or dramatic because I will explain my reasoning and you won't like it. And I'm not talking to anybody here, but anybody in my life, like there's a reason why people do the things they do. There's a reason why people need a break. There's a reason why people feel drained and like they can't do anymore. There's a reason why people fall into depression. Just so much. There's so much to this topic. Okay, so what does it mean to lack boundaries? If you have codependent traits, you may have a tendency to seek relationships that require you to look after or fix your partner. This happens because you've learned that others' needs are more important than your own. Your childhood wounds might actually lead you to recreate the stressful and dysfunctional relationships you've known since you were little. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Let me see what I missed. Yeah, I can't stand it when someone calls me that either, leopard print. Oh boy. Those phrases are to discount the way you're feeling. Yeah, it is. It's to belittle you. And it's to make you bow down to do what they want you to do. It's to make you feel bad so that you can do what they want you to do. And there you go. Some people, and that's why we're talking about this, myself included, I then feel like, oh crap, maybe I am being selfish. Maybe I really do need to listen and be here for this person. Even though I have a million other things I need to do or a million other feelings that I'm feeling, I feel like, okay, I have to stop and listen to this person because am I being dramatic? Am I being sensitive? But now I'm going to be like, I'll give it a moment and I'll be like, am I being sensitive or dramatic? And if I know that I'm not, I'm just going to let it out. I'm just going to let them know how I feel. I'm just going to learn how to be more vocal. Oh, you want to see me not be sensitive? Right? That is what I'm saying, Leopard. I will tell you all the reasons why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And then that person can walk away with their little sensitive feelings. Or it'll be a full-on confrontation. Who knows? But that is just one thing I'm refusing to do this year, is to not put myself first, not to express my feelings, not to express my boundaries, and make sure that they're clearly put in place. I agree, Lauren. They are. They're manipulative. It's to get what they want. It benefits them. Yeah, telling you to calm down. Okay, I'll calm down. Oh, okay, Leopard. I love you too, Leopard. I'm glad that you did stop in. Are you coming back or you don't know? Because I'm going to get to the boundaries here in a minute, I promise. This often leads to difficulties in setting healthy boundaries. You may find it extremely hard to say no to your partner or friends, or become anxious when they are displeased or angry with you. On the other hand, you may exhibit needy behaviors, constantly seeking attention from your friend, partner, etc., and feeling unhappy when they don't seem to need your help. So, yeah, this could be some part of it. It's not for me personally, but some people may feel that way. And this one definitely always, we've all talked about it, saying no. I'm not going to read the signs. What if you don't set the boundaries? How to stop codependency? Okay. I'm going to drop this article too because I only have one more to go over. And it's not very long. I know it's too soon, but I bet. Right. I do freaking love Lauren. She's amazing. I'm still learning to establish boundaries. Yeah, that's what I'm learning too. And that's why I wanted to do this and go over it and like the healthy way to set boundaries and stuff. Yeah, it seems like a bunch of us are. Let me see. So okay, let's go over this real quick since all of us seem to be. Wait, hold on. My aunt is calling. Let me make sure she's okay. Okay. Sorry, y'all. That was my aunt. She's okay. She woke up from her little nap because she did take some sleeping medicine. And, uh, y'all, she lost her spouse, right? We lost my uncle in November. And yeah, she's good. But she was telling me that she said, I don't know if I'm just crazy. She said, I turned around and I was like, she was like talking to her husband, my uncle, and she was like, we don't have enough dinner. And then she was like, I realized, oh, he's not even here. And then she went to do something else and she turned on a light and she was like, well, why do you want the kitchen light on? And she was like, she had to realize, oh my goodness, he's not here. And she's okay. Like, she's not crying. She's just like thought she was crazy. And I'm like, no, Aunt Bonnie, that's normal. Yeah, y'all were married for 50 years. They were together for even longer. So like that is completely normal, you know? But she's okay. And she told me she was gonna go eat and she's gonna call me back in a couple hours. So yeah, she's good. Thank y'all. But Lauren, I'm laughing at this. So he was so who was all helping him? Lauren, who was the voices in the video? That's what I couldn't figure out. And then I promise we're going to go over this article. I mean, I need watch time hours. I'm just hanging out with y'all. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to monetize this channel because I want to show videos. I want to show different stuff. And when you're monetized, like they said I had reused content. So it's like, how do these YouTubers get away with showing other content and not getting the reused content freaking deal, you know? Like, it's so annoying. Hey, Dave. Hi, I'm Daisy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take your thing, but it was totally a joke between me and Micah, Dave. Because it just like came to me because I hear you say it. And then, yeah, I was like, hi, I'm Daisy. And she started laughing. She was like, wait, where do we get that from? And I was like, that's from Dave. That's like Dave's thing. But this is Dave's channel. So everyone go and sub up to Dave. He has karaoke on Fridays. And that is from 3 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. So, and it's a good time. I always pop in and do some chores or errands and then pop back out and pop back in. It's a really good time. Gonna watch while I do meal prep. Ooh, I need to learn how to do meal prep. I hate freaking cooking. If I could just cook for one day during the week, that'd be amazing. But thank you for being here and listening, Dave. We're talking about codependency, boundaries, and all that good stuff. Because I think some of us need it, like myself. But yeah, thank you for being here. All right, so we are going to go over how to stop codependency and to set boundaries. So it says, fortunately, there are ways to increase your boundary setting abilities and build happier and more fulfilling relationships. Try the following tips for overcoming codependency. So determine your triggers. We went over a couple of triggers. We know that one is do not call us sensitive. Do not call us dramatic. Wait a minute. Dramatic. Lauren, dramatic. I'm sorry, I had to. Your typo. Okay. But for real, recognize your triggers. The first step towards creating better boundaries is understanding what actually caused your codependent tendencies. Work on exploring your past hurts and healing your core wounds. So, I need to find something that's going to help me identify all of my triggers and knowing what has caused all the codependency, because everything I've learned about myself was codependency and a fear of abandonment worked together with my situation. But there is a reason. Okay, so I guess one of my triggers would be always trying to save someone who I don't even know. So yeah, learning our triggers. I guess that's one of our main things to learn. Understanding the difference between support and codependency. Helping other people is not a bad thing, but codependency often entails helping others for the wrong reasons, such as wanting to influence their mood and control their behaviors. So I will say that I could see how it would come across as the wrong reasons. Now, I do it because I want to influence their mood in a good way. I want them to feel better about themselves or their situation. If you can relate to someone in a certain situation, then I guess that is where I need to learn to draw my own boundaries where I can relate. We can talk about this topic, and then that's it. I can't save this person from every single thing, and I can't control their behaviors. So I guess those are very important things to recognize. Domestic. I told you it wasn't going to go away, Lauren, and it really didn't. Like, I read it. You heard me read it earlier over and over, and it never came to mind until just now. I'm so sorry. It was funny. And I'm not gonna lie, the new autocorrect update on iPhones and then whatever, it's even on my freaking MacBook. But the autocorrect sucks. Because before you know it, you're sending and you're like, oh, that's not what I meant. Where did I have one? Oh, in Stones. I did a freaking auto typo and it was there for like 6 hours. I didn't even know. So embarrassing. Right? Sucks so bad. Okay. Remember that you are responsible only for your own feelings. So while you may feel like the other person needs you to be happy, their feelings are actually not your responsibility. Try focusing more on yourself and your needs and take responsibility for them. Practice saying no to other people. Although you may feel compelled to help others, you can only set healthy boundaries if you learn how to say no to things that go against your own values and voice opinions that may differ from your partner's. Okay, so basically say no to things that go against. If you have any red flags, if you have any gut instinct, if you have any kind of feelings at all that you need to listen to that and say no. Especially if it's not something that you're comfortable with doing. Never do something that you're not comfortable doing just to make other people happy. Or just to try to stop a conflict from happening, or trying to make yourself feel better because you're helping other people. Don't do those things that make you feel uncomfortable. Accept and integrate your feelings of guilt. When you first refuse to help them, you are bound to feel guilty. Understand that these feelings come from the dysfunctional behaviors you learned in childhood and accept them for what they are. So know that they will pass. Those feelings will pass. When you have those feelings, when you say no, and then it's like automatic. As soon as you even think of the word, or you can even take it a step back. When this person's like, hey, I need a favor, or hey, can I talk to you? And they're asking you something and you know where it's going and you know that you're already uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, you already have those feelings of guilt. But you have to remember that they will go away. Those feelings will come and go. They're learned behaviors from your childhood or from whatever you went through, but accept them for what they are and know that you're still doing what's best for you. And then consider professional help. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a counselor, doing therapy, and all of those things. There's nothing wrong with it. Hey. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Hi.
Hey, hi.
What up?
Well, I just came up. Hi.
I'm so glad you joined.
It's too much to type, but
Yeah.
and then I missed. I think if you were in the middle of something, I'll just be quiet for a minute.
Oh no, I was done reading it. It was like the
Okay.
part about seeking professional help, and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with a counselor or a therapist,
Hell no.
right?"
Yeah, no. One of the things that it's too much to type is like what I learned about, like always trying to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the article was just mentioning our childhood stuff.
Right.
Like, so personally, what I learned for my own self as like I grew up in a like an alcoholic family,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
my parents fought. My dad was kind of abusive to my mom. You know, it was real
Mm.
traumatic.
Yeah.
And like, so what I learned in therapy is that like our people pleasing thing was like as little kids trying to survive in a weird environment, we start
Yes.
trying to help everybody, fix everything
Yes.
because we're scared and we want everything to be okay.
To just be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that
And
is so. Did you get to watch my live I did with an adult child of an alcoholic?
no, was
I
that
have.
recently?
It was on my main. It was before the holidays, I want to say, but it covers a lot of that stuff because I'm just like you. Same household, same situation, same thing.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to add
Yeah.
that in because it's like too much to type, but it's such a profound thing that has happened to, I'm not gonna lie, like most of my friends,
Right. A
you
lot of
know,
people.
yeah, a lot of like the women in my life, especially.
Hmm.
I'd
That.
say like, I'd say like, I really only have like 5 best, you know, like really close
Yeah.
friends. So
Yeah.
out of that group, there's like 3 or 4,
That have
3 of
been through it.
us. Yeah, 3 of us. And then the other
Wow.
2 like don't get it. They think we're sensitive and,
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness. Yeah.
it's like, no, but we were, I don't know. But that, I mean, yeah, it's a thing.
It is because it's so weird. Me and my aunt were sitting on her front porch earlier, and she was talking about like when she grew up. And she was like, we grew up with our dad. He was an alcoholic. And it's so weird that, like, I don't know, like, it's just come full circle because she even said the same thing that, like, she always was the one that was like, Daddy, can you do this? Because she was the baby. And so she would
Yeah.
always try to fix the situation. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people deal with that.
Yeah. I see it in you. I see it myself. And I know we have a lot in common
Yeah, we do.
in
We
that.
can help each other.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like having healthy friendships that
Yeah.
like we can give.
Understand.
Yeah. It's good to help people. And like Lauren was saying, you know, like the give and take part of it though. Like, am
Right.
I getting back what I'm giving? Which does sound selfish,
But
but it's true.
yes. Because
Yeah.
and you've helped me so much, and I'm so thankful for you in my life. And like I will say that last week was that was the first time that I really had to come to terms with like blind asking me, like what are you like what are you doing for yourself? And I'm like, I have nothing else. Like when I said those words, it was like, wow, like I really do feel like this right now, like I don't have anything left to give. And I'm in this
Yeah.
situation and they expect more and I don't know what to do.
Well, that's where it gets confusing, because especially if there's like any level of manipulation happening,
Yeah.
it's confusing.
And that's very common too.
Mm-hmm. And even like I know you because I just get you, and
Yeah.
I'm similar. It's like they're like moths to a flame, though. I swear, it's like the vampires.
The emotional vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
So I have a friend who's really into like studying narcissists and all the, I forget the term. Oh man, it's like these certain personality disorders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say what because I don't remember, but like
Right.
they really do seek out people like us. And I don't know if they do it purposefully or if it's just like a,
That's what I was wondering because like okay, so when we do it, like when I do it, like it was innocently me being me, right? So it's like I wonder on the other side of things, do they intentionally set out to be like, oh, this is somebody I can manipulate, or does it just happen, or is it either or?
see, I don't know. I'm just starting to learn about that. Just
Hey,
having,
Resto.
hey, Resto.
But yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out because just like I'm drawn, and I can say I'm drawn to people who I feel like I can relate to, or I feel like I can say a word or have a conversation with them and make their day better, but then it ends up being always me giving.
They end up being fixer-uppers.
Yeah, man.
And then you're like, I got this.
We're like a
I'll
whole
help you. No, but that's where we have to learn to like recognize our part, because they're going to do
Right.
they're going to do them regardless
True.
of what we do. So it's like learning how to see
Yeah.
what we're doing and
And
go,
then
wait.
take a moment to pause and be like, can I help? And then, like I was saying earlier, there's also a way where you can do it healthy with boundaries. Like, if this person is having an issue with something you can relate to, you can reach out and be like, hey, so this is a suggestion. This is what happened to me. This might help you. And I hope it helps you. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to become a regular everyday and get into a friendship kind of thing, especially if you already have regards about it. Like, you know what I mean? That's me speaking to myself.
Yeah. But I use that like imagery of like, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that works for me. Like, and then like I start to learn, like, how am I feeling? Like, am I tired? Am I over committed? Or, and like I've gotten
Right.
better at it. Like, and I
That's
think
good.
you will too. It's just like, really, what do I have to offer?
Yeah.
And
You need to teach me some of your little techniques.
I'm still learning. We're all still learning, but yeah, I'm proud of you, and I think you're amazing. And I have to jump down, but I just wanted to
Okay.
come up and
Well, thank you for joining. You're amazing too, and you've been such an amazing friend. We've been friends for how long now? Over a year.
over a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be the friendship that lasts on YouTube.
Yes. You're my
It is
homie.
possible. Don't give
Yes.
up, anybody.
We got this.
All right. I love you.
All
I'll
right.
see you later.
Love you. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay. Wait. I don't know where it moves the article. Oh, there we go. Why is it so dang small? There we go. Okay. I'll just put it back full screen. Everybody is yurting in the chat. We were just talking about your your video, Resto, with the freaking bomb diffusal. Oh my gosh. And I was telling them that like I loved watching it. It was funny watching y'all scramble trying to figure out that game. I don't know if you know Daz games, but I've watched a bunch of his games where he does like the puzzle escape room type games where like the bomb diffusal might be in one room and it might like open a door, but then he gets into another room. You got to figure out codes, you got to find keys. I mean, it's like very detailed. I love those games. So that is why I love your channel, because you do all these satisfying, like oddly satisfying things that is just so relaxing and so needed. Resto. So if I ever learn OBS, might have to check that out. Because if you do Mario, I'm so there. Okay, so back to the topic. Also, don't be afraid to lean on someone else. I know, Dave, I know, and that I do have a problem with that. I bottle things up, and like what I was going through, I had bottled up for 2 to 3 weeks, and I already had like these feelings of just I needed to talk to someone, and it took me a minute to reach out and talk to someone. So that is also very true. Don't be afraid. If you have a support system, you know these people will listen to you. If they're not calling you dramatic and sensitive, just try to reach out to your support system and let them know what's going on. Yeah, same, Lauren. I don't like to feel like I'm bothering people with my issues. Like I don't like to feel like I'm constantly going to someone for my problems. Like I am one of those people who will try to figure it out on my own, but then oh my gosh, last week I was just at a point where enough was enough. And like I'm thankful for all of you that were here, that are still here. And oh gosh, all I can say is like there's just so much more to it as far as words and phrases. Like it's just a lot. But I'm okay now. I'm good. I'm learning. Okay. So I specifically picked this article because it talks about like the digital boundaries with friends and family. Hold on one second. What do you want, Bellamy? Hold on. Okay, I had to let my little Bellamy out of the room. She's like, get me out of here. Okay, how long have I been live? An hour and a half. I'm so not used to, I mean, maybe 2 hours, but exactly, that's what I think. I don't want to burden people with my issues. Feels selfish and weird, even though I know it actually isn't. Right, and that's the part we, hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, Lauren. It's like it does feel selfish and weird, but I will say that it does feel amazing when you do reach out and you do have a healthy response and a new way of looking at it, and you're like you feel a relief. You feel like the heaviness like just falling off, and you're like, okay, I can do this. So yeah, it is important. Some people will get excited to get to help you. Right. But also make sure your support system is like people that you know and people that you trust, because you don't want to fall into a trap where you're talking to someone about your issues and they're another codependent person or a manipulative person, or they don't have really good intentions. So also be careful with who you do talk to. All right, Resto, no problem. Yeah, that's his new little nickname for me. It's like I Resto, Daisy Bay. You know what it reminds me of? Oh my God, it's a song. I got me some baby, mate. Yeah, that one. It's Daisy Bay. Nobody get it twisted. That's just my homie. But yeah, Resto. Thank you. Thank you, Leopard. All of y'all have brought me to where I'm at. For me to be able to even go live and speak on these things that I know that I deal with myself, and that hoping that maybe it'll reach someone else who needs to talk about it, who might not realize that these things are happening. It's brought me to this point today. So autocorrect is drunk. Okay. So this one I found this one was so interesting because I just like Googled some stuff, and this one came up. And I was like, okay. So, all right. So boundaries are how we communicate our expectations for a relationship, letting others know the kind of behavior we deem acceptable or not. We do this in small ways all the time, like asking a partner not to yell during an argument, or even just saying, I'd rather not talk about this to a friend. But setting these boundaries online can sometimes be tricky. See, and that is huge. I'd rather not talk about this. That's something that I actually did say. And it was not reciprocated well. That's all I'll say about that. But that is a way of putting up a boundary. I don't want to talk about this. It's something that's making you uncomfortable. Verbalize it. Daisy. Talking to myself here too. Okay, let's see. So this was like an example. And I didn't get the context because I just kind of read the tweet. But it says, so this is, we'll ignore the feminist part because, yeah, whatever. So an educator Melissa Fabello tweeted a screenshot of a friend's text asking whether she was up for a heavy conversation. Shortly after, she shared her response about being at capacity, which she suggested others could use as a template for gently explaining when they just don't have the bandwidth for a conversation. Let me check on chat. Oh, yeah, that is a red flag. If you're talking about when I said I'd rather not talk about this, yeah, definitely. Okay, so this is this was her tweet. Her ex, what do they even call it now? Post? I will forever call it tweets and Twitter. I'm sorry, I know it's X, formerly known as Twitter, but whatever. So she put, P.S. Someone reached out and asked for an example of how you can respond to someone if you don't have the space to support them. I offered this template. Now you can change it up, whatever. I just thought it was pretty interesting because I wouldn't necessarily use the words that she uses here, but it does make sense if you can word it in your own way. I'm sorry if I keep hitting my mic. Okay, so let's say someone reaches out to you and they just want to have a heavy conversation, but you are just not your best self. You don't have any strength or anything to give at this moment. She was saying you can say, hey, I'm so glad you reached out. And these are different ones. So you can say, I'm actually at capacity. I'm helping someone else who's in crisis. I'm dealing with some personal stuff right now, and I don't think I can hold appropriate space for you. Could we connect in a later date or time instead? Or do you have someone else you could reach out to? Now, when I read this, I was just like, damn, if I reached out to someone and I really needed to talk and this was their response, I probably initially would be hurt because I wouldn't try to understand. But going through all of this stuff and realizing that and going through it, at least this person is being honest. They're being transparent. They're telling me, exactly, like they're setting a boundary. They cannot help you right now, but they can at a later date. So they're not dismissing you completely, but they're letting you know at this moment in time, I cannot. And I just think that is huge. Not a huge fan of these. What's that, Dave? Like these templates and these, like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't use these words. Now I'm dealing with some personal stuff. Yeah, because it is personal. Whenever you are going through something and you don't have the capacity and you don't have the strength and you really don't know how you're going to even listen to a conversation, not because you're being dismissive or you're being a bad friend, you just don't have it in you. And then I do say, hey, can we talk about this another day? Because I'm kind of dealing with some stuff right now. That's how I respond. Oh, those are nicer than what I say sometimes. Yeah, it's making me think. Like, I mean, to be fair, most people, if we're just being honest, don't ever say, hey, I need to have a heavy conversation with you. I need to talk to you. I mean, they might say, I'm going through something, or guess what happened, or something like that. Sometimes they will set up the conversation where you don't have a choice, it feels like, but to listen, because they just lay it all out. And I guess in those moments, some people get so used to you being that person that they just lay it on you and they don't realize or think about how heavy it is for you. Or they're used to you being that person and you are their person to talk to. So this can get all so complicated, or maybe I'm overcomplicating it. I don't really know, guys. I don't. This is why I have all of you, because if someone says, hey, I need to talk to you about something, it's really hard to just be like, no, I can't right now. And see, that's where I'm struggling. That's where I have an issue, because even if I'm having a horrible day, or if I'm in the middle of like a whole lot of stuff and someone says those words, my ears perk up, my heart is automatically in it, and I just want to know that they're okay. And so I automatically give and give and give. So this is going to be a lot of learning to say no when I really need to say no, or to just suggest another time. And yeah, not worry so much about what other people are feeling or what they're going to do, because that is my issue. Like, the first thing I think of whenever I say, hey, hang on, I'm busy, I'm automatically thinking like, are they okay? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to do, to just say no or whatever. It is emotionless, and responding to an emotional situation is what makes it a little weird, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with. Like, I wouldn't word it like that. I would have to word it depending on who it is, my family, my loved ones, my husband, of course. I mean, like, me and my husband talk all the time. He is the person I can relieve a lot of what I'm going through. But for friends and stuff, yeah, definitely use different words. The one I used, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I'll just say something like, hey, so like, I'm kind of going through something right now, but can we talk about this like a little later, or I'll get back to you in a couple hours? Like, that's how I might word it. Or if they're texting and saying, hey, can you call me when you can? I need to talk. I automatically do ask, like, are you okay? And if they say, yeah, just call me when you can, then that's different. But if they're like, no, 911, it's an emergency, call me as soon as you can, then of course I think it's automatic that we do, right? Like, I'm not the only one, because you want to make sure that person is okay. I think the boundaries come in place is when they do speak to you about it. If it's something you can't handle at that time, then you got to find a way to just be like, okay, I'm listening and I'm here for you, but I don't know how to answer this, or I don't know how to fix this. Yeah, it's a lot. If I'm depressed or whatever, I can't even say that much. I'll just be like, yeah, sorry, I can't right now. Right. Yeah, that's how I was last week. It's just a lot. When I went through my divorce, my closest friend told me she had too much shit going on to deal with mine. We have never talked since. Ooh, that's hard. That's harsh. I'm sorry. I keep getting hiccups. That is, I'm sorry, Lauren. That is tough. I mean, I've never been through it, but I have friends who are going through like separations and stuff, and it's not easy at all. My best friend went MIA on me during a hard time. I get that kind of pain. Yeah, and it's like, so like, okay, I get it if they just can't. They're dealing with their own stuff. They can't right now. But communication is key. Communicating why goes a long way, in my opinion. Because if someone is going through something, then, and I know it, then yeah, I'm not going to just lay all my problems on them, But like, communication is huge, in my opinion. Because if you can tell me, if I have you as my best friend and I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you about this, but yet they're going through something that they haven't like verbalized to me, so I don't know about it, and they say, well, I'm kind of going through yada, 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 and they tell me, then I'll be like, oh my God, like, no worries. I hope that you're okay. And like, we'll connect at a different date. Hey, struggle, Jordan. I notice everyone else says Jordan, so I'm going to just go ahead and say that if that's okay with you. I did drop Jordan's link, The Struggle. His is a chill, laid back channel, and he is also part of Easy and Resto, Lauren, and all of you amazing people. Let's see. Leopard print. Thank you. I legit was broken all at the time, so it really hurt. But in a weird way, it helped show me that they didn't really care about me because at my lowest, they didn't want to be here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then if they didn't try, I don't know the situation. I don't know if they tried to communicate with you after or explain to you the reasons why they couldn't help you, but that is very, very hurtful. If they didn't try to fix it afterwards, you know, like then that's crappy. Because I will say this, I've had to back away from people who were very toxic, who, I mean, there was no way I could continue a friendship with them because I didn't understand the mood swings. I didn't understand the changing of characteristic. The I mean, when it went from one extreme to the other and then back, and I'm in a whirlwind and I don't know what the hell is going on, but I just know that something's not right. I had to walk away. Um, it doesn't mean I didn't care. It doesn't mean that like I regret ever trying to help that person. It just means that like I could not handle it anymore. But this also wasn't like a best friend like what you went through, Lauren. This is someone I had just kind of met and it just spiraled. So it's like to be a best friend and going through something that major, yeah, that had to be hard. Let's see, but it's also freeing. You sure do learn your friends are when life gets you right. You really, really do. What the heck is this struggle? And then a devilish laugh. What am I missing? No, they legit never talk to me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am so sorry you went through that because a little communication would have went a long way. That's sad. Sometimes toxic. Oh yes, struggle for sure. That's what we were talking about. Like, the codependency and like setting boundaries. It can be a best friend. It can be a coworker. It can be a spouse. It can be family members. I have a cousin who was like a sister to me that I've had to reinforce boundaries with. And yeah, they were very toxic. Very toxic. And I couldn't deal with it anymore. I still can't to this day. It's just like a limited friendship, family member. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Are you in the right headspace to receive information that could possibly hurt you? What in the world? Okay. So I like this one. I just want to say a lot of y'all dump information on your friends at the wrong time without their consent. If you know it's something that could hurt them, ask permission before you decide to be messy, please. Okay, no, this isn't the one I was thinking of. But I mean, not everybody does this. And what do you mean ask permission if you know it can be messy? I get that, but if you have a best friend or a friend that is usually your support system, someone you know that you can go to, yeah, I believe in being like, hey, so I'm kind of going through something and I wanted to run it by you, or them noticing that I'm down and asking me what's wrong, and then I just kind of let it out kind of thing. I don't know. Some of these tweets are weird. But yeah, I think, let's see how boundaries work and why they're important. Let me see if anybody else is still listening because I've been live for a little bit. The concept of boundaries might not ever come up for you explicitly, in which case you're likely already communicating when you're available and for what. But people have varying needs in this regard, and our increasingly digital world isn't set up for that kind of variety. And struggle, just to let you know, this one is another tab I switched to that was specifically about like online friendships and things like that. Many of us now have devices strapped to our wrists that alert us of new calls, emails, and texts every waking moment. It's easy to fall into the trap of feeling beholden to answer messages 24 hours a day. Let's see. Figure out if you're comfortable sharing advice or are more of a shoulder to cry on person, and find a way to let your friends know. At the very least, if you have to write the email at 10, schedule the send for the following day so you aren't inadvertently communicating that you're always available late at night. Okay, I see what they're saying. Ultimately, we can only be responsible for ourselves. We can't expect other people to know what our limits are if we don't tell them. That is very true. I think we can all benefit from that statement. So yeah, I think one of the biggest things that, just going over all of this with you all today, is that the codependency thing, you can't always save everyone. You can't always be there for everyone and not be there for yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, getting the sleep you need, not feeling like you have to stay up to catch every single, for me, it's like YouTube. YouTube has become my latest addiction. So when we find ourselves only focusing on YouTube, not worrying about ourselves, we can't do that. Always put yourselves first. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Eat the foods that you need to eat. Learn how to say no. If you're uncomfortable or you don't have the energy, you don't have it in you to give, learn to say no. Set boundaries. We can do a whole nother stream another time about what it looks like to set those boundaries. I mean, does anybody in chat have any examples of boundaries that they've had to set, or an example of just like a suggestion? Like, I will say for me, she was my best friend / cousin. So she was more like a sister to me. She lived with me, for a very long time. And like, she always knew what was going on my phone. I always knew what was going on her phone. And I mean, there was nothing there. We were just nosy, right? We're just best friends. We were younger. And it came a point where after I went through a lot, there was one day where she had tapped on my phone because she knew my passcode and she typed it in. And when it didn't work, she looked at me and was like, "You changed your passcode?" And I said, "Yes, I did. My husband and my son know it. And that's all that needs to know it." And her face said everything. She didn't like the boundary being put in place, but I will say that she respected it. She had no choice. When you don't give them a choice, you don't give in, they have no choice but to accept that boundary. I think that more referred to, if you have info, like something someone said about them, making sure they aren't already in a traumatized space. Oh, maybe so, Dave. That makes sense. Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I had came across that one and I was just like, the tweets were just kind of weird, but this stuff is what I was kind of wanting to skim over a little bit, but this is so true. Back in the day, if the landline phone rang and it was inconvenient, we didn't pick it up. Simple. And this is from a psychotherapist. You can still do that. Choose when you are available and honor your right to make that choice. One mistake many people make, according to Wiles, is to ignore their feelings of frustration when a person is taking advantage of them. Oh boy, so true. Acknowledge those emotions. Do not ignore or stuff them down. You will become drained and experience empathy burnout. Be able to recognize when enough is enough and reestablish your boundaries by communicating them to your friends. Sometimes the problem isn't one friend or one topic. It's the constant onslaught of emotional expression and expectation from social media. The easiest way to address this is to simply turn it off. But as Lear noted, we often feel beholden to answer when someone texts, emails, tweets, or otherwise tries to get our attention. Other options include muting. When a family member or friend shares a lot of things that upset you, but you don't want to outright block or unfollow, you can curate, you can unfollow or block the people whose posts and messages upset you. And again, setting availability boundaries. So only checking social media accounts at a certain time of day. Those are some good examples. Yeah, this is a lot. I'm going to drop this link just in case anybody wants to go over it. And I'm probably going to go ahead and get ready to end it after I catch up on all of my comments. Hey, Lazy, I didn't know you were still here. One of my boundaries that I recently started working on is being available to people at the spur of the moment. Oh, spur of the moment, when they're not there for me when I need them to. Okay, so when am I going to start working on be right? Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because it's kind of like what Lauren was saying. They give, and not receiving anything. I get that. You know what I mean? Like if they call me, I'm there immediately when I need them. They're not there for me when I need them to. It's like I got to wait on them. But screw that. Not no more. Well, good for you. Good for you for putting a boundary in place that you feel that you need to and just stick to it. We're going to hold each other accountable, guys. Because I'm the same way. I'm just a helper. I've always been that person that, like, if I can help, I will. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, I definitely can't all the time, but I do try to pay it forward. But if I'm burned out, there ain't no way I'm going to be good for anybody else. So, yeah. Oh, you're good, Leopard. I'm sure you can catch the replay later, or we'll talk, I'm sure. We'll catch up. But yeah, it has been an amazing stream. It's been almost 2 hours. I didn't think it would go this long. And I appreciate all of you that are here. I'm going to try to fix Nightbot. Hornet said that he would help me try to figure it out because I don't know why Nightbot is not working. It literally shows that it's connected to this account and it's not working. So I'm going to have to try to fix that. But, oh, thank you, Struggle. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I went over this topic because I deal with it a lot. I know a lot of people who do, a lot of people who fall victim to being codependent and then ending up in a situation they don't want to be in. So it was important for me to go over it for sure. Thank you, Lazy. And you have a good one too, Struggle. Thank you for being here, by the way. I've got to go, but I love you. Great topic. I love you too. Text me whenever you can, girl. I will be here. I'll be around. I have nothing else to do today. Well, except for laundry. I'll lie. Thank you, Dave. No problem, Lauren. Thank you for being here. Okay. Well, with that being said, let me stop sharing. Jesus is huge to me. Okay. Anyway, thank you all again. I love every one of you. I love getting to know all of our new friends and how we're all intermingling with Stones people, and everybody's just been great. And yeah, thank you to all that have been a big help in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. You guys know who you are. I love every single one of you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, mods. I will add more mods as time goes. I don't really need them right now, but I will add them as time goes. But y'all have a beautiful evening. And, oh, you just said that. Beautiful stream. Okay. And I'm sure I will see you guys around YouTube. So stay blessed, and I will see you around. Wait, one more. Have a good night. Yes, everyone have a good night. See you guys later. Bye.